Well, if you're saying that de-pantsing somebody is a prank, then we were the impractical jokers. Because de-pantsing was just a way of life back then.
Hello and welcome to Is This Good? The show where we boldly, conclusively, and scientifically decide what things in this big wide world are good. I'm Matt Austin, and with me as always is production powerhouse Jason Doyle.
Hello.
Hi JD, thanks for coming. And today's guest is short and bad at basketball. He's clean shaven and wears boring clothes and only owns one pair of shoes, Skechers hands-free slip-ins. He thinks Michael Jordan is overrated and that Vin Diesel is a bald buffoon and April Fools, I gotcha! For you see, he is really the opposite of all these things I mentioned. From No Dunks, the oldest and best basketball podcast on the planet, it's Trey Kerby. We just cut to the 3-shot and you're actually laughing at the dumbest thing I've ever written.
You pranked me hard, man. I've never been gotten so much like that. I can't believe you went for it. I do like the way April Fool's Day, sometimes it just means opposite day.
Yeah, it just means opposite. It can mean many things, which I'm sure we'll get into. Sometimes it just means straight up insulting someone.
That's right.
And then saying it's April Fool's Day. But you're a brave guy to step into this podcasting dojo on April Fool's Day, not knowing what could happen, not knowing all the ways you could be pranked. So thank you. Thank you for being brave. Thank you for coming.
Yeah, you got to have your guard up on April Fool's Day, but I'm coming in vulnerable here, talking about some of the best pranks to ever have been pranked on me, to perhaps have been pulled by myself, and even some pranks where I averted danger, I guess.
Well, do you, so you wake up today, it's April 1st, do you put it in your alarm or something, or a calendar reminder saying, don't believe anything you read on Twitter today? Or does it take a few things before you go, oh, shit, it's April 1st?
You sit on one whoopee cushion and you'll never forget. But yeah, I have started setting an alarm. It goes off at like 5 a.m. as loud as possible. Constant vigilance. Can't trust anybody on April 1st.
I say do that every day because you don't know what's happening on the internet. You don't know what's real anymore. What is your general prank history, Trey? Because I know you were a college guy.
Yeah.
I can't remember. Were you in a frat?
I wasn't in a frat. We didn't have Greek life on our campus.
You didn't have Greek life, but you had a lot of tall, manly friends who looked like they could pull a prank. I've seen them. I've met them. There wasn't a single one of them of which I thought, oh, this man wouldn't pull my pants down at a moment's notice.
Wow.
Well, if you're saying that de-pantsing somebody is a prank, then we were the impractical jokers. Because de-pantsing was just a way of life back then. If you were wearing an elastic waistband, you better watch out.
That would be a good Impractical Joker sketch where you still have the IFB earpiece in like the Impractical Jokers where they're telling you like some kind of elaborate plan or thing to say to someone to prank them, and they're just like in your ear going, all right, just pull his pants down, man.
Just yank him.
Just twist his nipples and pull his pants down, man. He'll never see it coming. So yes, did you enjoy pranks?
Yeah, I guess I do enjoy pranks. You messaged me to see if I would come on, and in one moment I felt insulted when you're like, you seem like a man who knows pranks. And then I thought about it for about 5 seconds. I was like, well, I guess I do have a bit of a prank history. The most memorable prank of my life is my earliest prank done to me on an April Fool's Day. We were visiting cousins for some reason, and they had tea out. They're like, hey, you want some tea? I was like, yeah, of course. I love tea. I'm 10. Who doesn't love tea? You want some sugar? Yeah, I do. A few lumps here. Guess what?
Man.
It was salt. And I'll never forget about that prank. Just a simple prank. I had forgotten it was April Fool's Day. Sometime you should be on high alert when you're young, because that's when pranks are their most prevalent. But I'd forgotten, and I just had to drink a salty cup of tea.
Wow.
Did you spit it out, or what did you do?
I gulped it down. Gulped it all down in just one very hot, very salty drink. Turned the prank around.
Oh, that's the move. That's the move. If you can do it, just pretend like, yeah, I wanted this. I wanted this salt. Yeah.
It's so funny you say that, and you'll see why in maybe 20 to 30 minutes. That is your pranking strategy, just to not admit that you have been pranked. What about the kids? You have 2 kids. Are they interested in April Fools? Are they interested in pranking Dad?
They are obsessed with whoopee cushions. So when it's April Fool's Day or thereabouts, the whoopee cushions are just out pretty consistently. But joke's on them. I'm so big now that when I sit on a whoopee cushion, there's a 50-50 chance that it just explodes. Like I've ripped through a couple of whoopee cushions. And then who got who? Am I right?
Yeah, that's right. Dad farts so big he tears through plastic, baby.
One round angle.
And when you were in your peak prank days, hashtag peak prank, were you ever worried that it was going to cause damage or long-term harm to people? Because that's my problem with pranks. I think I told the story on the show about the one of the very few times I was involved in a summer camp prank. And even though it was the whole bunk doing this prank to a person, where just very briefly, this person was, I don't know, out on the lake or something, and we took all of their stuff, like bed, trunk, clothes, drawers, lamp, and just brought them into a field and set them back up as if it was his, little area of the bunk.
Classic.
And he came up and immediately pointed at me and said, I thought we were friends, and he started crying, and then I had to chase after him and apologize. So I don't have a good, my first prank that I think I ever pulled, which is, you'll hear, not a prank at all, but my dad was a big trickster, prankster, jokester. And what I learned from a young age was the secret to it is you don't ever say you're joking, right? If someone's like, wait, are you serious? You go, yeah. And they go, wait, I really need to know, are you being serious? And you go, yes. Anyways, he was always getting me to believe things that weren't true, right? So one day I think I'm going to get him back. He's at work, calls the house, and he says, can I speak to, he talks to me or whatever. Can I speak to Mom? I say, oh no, she never came to pick me up at school. He's like, what? Well, how did you get home? I was like, oh, I took the bus. He's like, is everything okay? No, she got into an accident on the way to pick me up. What? Yeah. Oh my God, is she okay? I don't know. I haven't heard from the hospital. The hospital? Hold on. Are you joking? Is your mother in the hospital? Yes. Anyways, so I took it to a point where then, now this was legitimate. He got so upset. And then once I was like, yeah, of course I'm joking. She's upstairs, He yelled at me in a way that made me realize this was not an appropriate thing to do.
You were working above your prank grade on that one.
Yeah.
He didn't know.
Yeah.
You were too young to be pranking like that, but you didn't know any better. So you were just digging and digging and digging. Meanwhile, your dad is just getting more and more scared the whole time.
Well, Lenny, this one's on you, I would say.
Yeah.
He's learned from the best. You don't ever let it be known that you're being pranked. So kudos to you. I would be privately proud. Like, I'd let you have it. I'd be like, but yeah, the commitment to the bit is just it's up there,
Yeah, but it is the thing. It's what I imagine why you tell your kids they're not allowed to swear, like when they're young. It's not that like you think the word "fuck" is so bad that it's going to change their life in a negative way. It's just that they don't understand nuance and context of when, like if they're at dinner and just out of nowhere they just go, I'm fucking full. You're probably going to die laughing or something if they've never sworn before. But if they say that to their teacher or principal, you're going to be mortified and it is going to negative. So, pranking is a dangerous thing. That's all I'm saying.
I agree.
We have to train our children to prank. Well, another one, my uncle showed me this thing where you dig a hole in the beach and then you put a towel over, a white towel, and then you put sand gingerly back on the towel, and then you get someone, you're like, come over here, and they step towards you. So I did it, but I dug the hole too deep, and everyone laughed when he did it. But then when I did it and someone twisted their ankle in the Viet Cong style hole I dug, suddenly people are upset. Anyways, all I'm saying is I don't prank anymore. I had it's like your first relationship is a nightmare and you have a terrible breakup. You're going to be gun shy in relationships from now on. Right. And that's how I feel about pranking. But Trey, now, how do you feel April 1st is going to come up? Do you feel like you're going to do anything? Or, it is April 1st today.
Yeah, I'm gonna sit down at dinner and tell my kids that I'm leaving their mom.
Yeah.
See how they take it. Something light. No, I'm kind of with you. Like I had growing up, when we go to my dad's house with me and my stepbrother, we would try and pull like ridiculous, stupid pranks. Like I remember many times, like getting toilet paper, getting it soaking wet, letting it dry in the shape of a dog turd, then covering it in peanut butter, putting it in the freezer until it was like, turd consistency. And we just leave it around the house. That was the whole joke. That one was fine. That one's totally cool. But when we were soaping up the bathtubs so that they would get really, really slippery and hopefully somebody will fall over Home Alone style.
Right.
I don't think we understood the consequences if our prank actually worked. So luckily, that one we would feel bad about enough. We're like, oh man, that thing is so soapy. Wait until our sisters go in there. They're going to fall. They're going to smash their heads on the faucets. It's going to be hilarious. Then we're like, wait a second. What if they fall?
And slip into the water.
Yeah, it could be bad.
Slowly. And JD, what's your general prank history, pro or con?
Generally, I'm con. But as a dad, I do enjoy, my kids like the one prank that they would always do, and it's not really a prank, but it would just fart on my head. I would be sitting and then it would just come up and go like that. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. But then I would be like, well, I guess we're in a fart war now. And they hated that. They were like, no, I didn't mean to, because they know that my will is way, way stronger than their will, and I will have a fart. I had a fart war with Jackson for at least 6 months of just daily farting on each other.
No exit strategy, huh?
Yep. It was just like, yeah. It was World War I trenches. It was a war of inches, and it was just constant destruction. But yeah. It was bad.
And then innocent bystanders going down in that one as well.
Totally. Absolutely.
Okay, well, we're going to find out exactly what kind of pranks we do and do like in a quick second. But first, some very quick housekeeping. If you'd like to support the show, go to patreon.com/isthisgood. We released a Patreon-only episode on Thursday. We talked about the mid-90s swing revival as seen through the eyes of a young, hip cat called Jason Doyle. Trey, you might be interested. We discussed whether we're going to be going shirtless this summer.
And?
No. Me for body dysmorphia reasons and JD for precancerous cells reasons.
Yeah. Safety first.
Yeah.
Do you still get emails, Matt, from Sweet Peach asking you to come back and make a back waxing appointment?
I left him there. I would get them when I was there, but once I left, I unsubscribed, I thought.
Had to unsubscribe? Well, I'm still locked in, so if you're back, let me know if you want me to schedule us something. We can change your mind.
All right, I'll look at flights. What else? We talked about, we heard from a listener who knows Wendy of Wendy's, the pigtailed red hair, personally.
Yeah.
And had a picture with her. And we got the Wendy tea tray. It was fascinating. And we also talked about, of course, how funny it is to see a small child drinking a beer.
Yeah.
And there's also a live stream hangout this Thursday. So now would be a great time to join the Patreon or sign up for a free trial. Treat yourself. And of course, send topics for future shows to isthisgoodpod@gmail.com. Subscribe on YouTube. All right, Trey, the wheel is back. You've seen the wheel, the Is This Good wheel before. But today, in honor of April Fool's Day, it's a wheel full of classic pranks. So let's give it a spin, see if you can tell me if any of these acts of mischief are in fact good. All right, here we go. The wheel is spinning again. We don't know where it will land. Hopefully it doesn't repeat itself. All right, first one, resetting the clock. Okay, so this is what the internet said about this one. We all want to get as much sleep in before work as possible. But why don't you push the time on your kid's clock a couple hours forward and watch their reaction when they realize they're ready for their 9 a.m. class at 7 a.m. This sounds like you just pranked yourself.
Yeah.
That's a dumb prank.
It's a dumb prank. So the kids wake up. I mean, I think for them, probably nothing is amiss at this point. Maybe they're a little tired, but that's probably not unusual for them. They get up, and now what? You're sitting with them having a conversation? Trying to get to know them better for 2 hours before you have to take them to school?
Guess what? It's super early.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't get this one. In fact, I think I would run this prank on myself when I was a kid. I didn't want to have to sleep in till, 9 o'clock or something like that. I wanted to get up and watch Saturday morning cartoons, so I would set my clock back a couple of hours. Then I got up only to realize it's only Mr. Wizard who's on at that time of day. Like, it's still dark outside.
Who the fuck is Mr. Wizard?
I don't know. He's like a bootleg Bill Nye the Science Guy, probably.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Okay.
All I remember is I did this once. Like, I was a terrible sleeper when I was a kid. Always wanted to get up early. Set my alarm 2 hours early. Had to deal with the disappointment of Mr. Wizard running things in the wee morning hours. And then I was like, I guess I got to sleep until 7, like a fool. Like an absolute clown until the Muppet Babies are finally on. More my style there. So yeah, I think this is bad, but I'm also the guy who used to take like nail polish and nail polish remover and try to paint over my digital clock so my parents wouldn't know what time it was.
Oh.
I didn't really understand how time worked or clocks. Like, there are other ones around that you could look at. But I was trying to scam some cartoons, and all I got was knowledge.
Wow. That's why you're so smart,
you're saying,
that's why I was so smart. Now I do sleep in, and I'm dumb again.
daylight savings time is like a prank the government plays on us every year. If you think about it.
Sure.
And then they take it another step further by saying, oh, we voted, we're getting rid of it. Then it comes back around again the next year, and you're like, hey, I thought we were kicking in here.
I thought well, it's, we got to get everyone to agree. It's state by state. It's a whole patchwork of laws and regulations. All right, JD, give that wheel a spin. I want to get to as many of these as possible. I want to save people on April Fool's Day.
And give them some ideas, maybe,
Yeah.
Right. Oh, Googly Eyes. See, this one I don't understand. This seems popular. You see this on the Instagram Reels. Someone opens the fridge, and all the condiments are staring back at them. And you pasted googly eyes on, the oranges, on the ketchup. I don't know. Did this come from that annoying orange thing? You know what I mean?
Oh, interesting.
I don't know. That's a theory, but I don't really have one. Trey, what do you think about opening the fridge and seeing a bunch of eyes staring back at you going, don't eat that cake.
Don't eat me. I'm alive. I love this. I think this should be a year-round prank, and in fact it is at my house, because every once in a while, a pair of googly eyes will show up, usually above like a toggle switch, like whether it be a light switch, or for us it's like our coffee maker has a thing you can flip up. Looks like a perfect nose. You throw a couple of googly eyes on there. Where did they come from? I'm still not sure. I've literally never seen Laura put googly eyes on anything. I don't know where we keep the googly eyes, but they still show up like every couple of months, and it's so sporadic that it always sends a tingle of joy up my spine as a grown-up here. And of course the kids go wild for it as well. So I love a googly eye on something that's not human.
Totally. You cannot go wrong with a googly eye. It's super wholesome. It's just fun.
Yeah.
I've seen TikToks where they're going into a Target and they're putting it on all the picture frames of the stock footage. I mean,
word. What's next? They're going to replace the stock photo with one of Nicolas Cage?
Yeah, hey, it's just fun. Nobody's offended. It's so wholesome, even if you in the bedroom and you put a pair of googly eyes over your dick and balls. It's just wholesome fun. You know what I mean?
I know what you mean.
I don't specifically know what you mean, but it does sound like fun.
Guys, try it.
Yeah, and put a very tiny pair of googly eyes, not the big ones.
Yeah, the smallest you can find.
Just, force perspective there. It is, I don't know why we just decided googly eyes are funny. Like, I would say in a vacuum, there's nothing really funny about them other than maybe the name and that we've all agreed that they're funny, but they're just eyes, man. That's what I say. All right, spin that wheel.
So true. Googly eyes in the hand, who cares?
If they were just called, I don't know.
Oh,
eyes.
Man. I was hoping
plastic
for ghost
snake.
pants. I gotta know what ghost pants is.
Oh, yeah. Trey's seeing ghost pants slide around that wheel. He wants to see it. Plastic snake. See, this one is... There's a few ways it could be executed, or at least a couple. One is you just have a plastic snake. You just throw it next to someone. Mm-hmm. Another is... These used to be popular. Gen Z, email in, let us know if these are still popular. It looks like a can of nuts or something, and then you open it, and then like almost like a noisemaker thing that shoots out. The snake just pops out like Jack in the Box.
Yeah, like a spring-loaded deal.
Totally.
Yeah. This one's not good. I'll tell you why.
Okay.
You know when you have anxiety about something and like a therapist or someone tells you like, actually anxiety is natural in the body. I just want you to know that because, our great ancestors, when they were in the plains or whatever, they needed to know if a snake came out, like they needed to be aware of that. If you had no anxiety, no awareness, then, we would all be dead and we wouldn't have propagated. So anxiety. So I don't like that they're hitting me with the very thing that is the origin of anxiety.
Right.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Are you just like on the regular worried about encountering a snake?
Well, what's funny? I was hiking this weekend, and I was alone, and it was a fire road, so it's pretty wide. But there were parts where I was summiting this little peak, and it was very narrow, and it's been raining a lot here, and it was very overgrown, so I couldn't actually see the path because there was like little low-lying bushes and stuff over it. Mm-hmm. And I honestly was very scared that I would step on or get bitten by a snake. I didn't, and it didn't stop me because I was being a very brave boy.
Very tough.
But it's snake season here, Trey. So yeah, it's a concern.
What kind of snakes are we talking? Rattlers or
the one? Yeah, you're watching out for a rattler here.
Right.
Or listening out for a rattler.
Oh yeah, you better pay attention.
Yeah, I mean, we have copperheads here. I definitely run into one in my side deck, right just outside of the classic factory here, and it was a baby one too, and those are the deadliest. Are they deadly, Trey?
Wait, are they the deadliest? Why are the
I don't know.
Babies are more venomous. I know that.
What?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And they're probably like easily scared as well.
Yeah. So we saw it, and it was like, oh, like it's scarier than you think it's gonna be. Like like it's a snake, and it's poisonous. So,
now, how confident are you that you can identify what kind of snakes are?
I'm for copperheads, pretty confident. Like I just looked it up when our kids started playing in parks here in Georgia. Like, we better know what a copperhead looks like.
Yeah, you got to know. Laura joined some. I think it's a Facebook group that's like literally just people identifying snakes, and I didn't realize this was a Facebook group for the longest time. So anytime she would see a snake, like it'd be the same as JD, like it'd be in the yard or something like that, she'd take a picture like, people are going to identify this. And I thought it was like an algorithm or something like that. You upload a picture of a snake and it matches the characteristics, but it was just literally a Facebook group. And she's like, I'll upload a picture of a snake, and within less than a minute, somebody will know what kind of snake it is.
Wow.
So I was like, I don't know, maybe snakes are becoming a little less scary as we're getting more technology, and people can just be like, don't worry about that. That's one of the cool snakes.
Yeah, the worst is, though, uploading the picture. I just got bit by this snake,
Please give me a good review.
Yeah.
And my Wi-Fi is a bit shoddy, so if someone could respond quickly, I would appreciate that. All right, spin that wheel. The snake also somehow reminds me of, those videos of people that put cucumbers next to their cats?
Oh, yeah.
And the cats jump in the air? That's what the snake feels like for humans. I feel like it's a little too mean. Okay, change homepage to lemonparty.org. A classic. If you don't know what it is, I wouldn't... No. Here's the thing I honestly had a problem with. Lemon Party, and then I couldn't remember, is it .com, .org? Mm-hmm. And I didn't want to look it up because I didn't want to see it again. So do you remember, was it .org?
I don't know. I can look it up right now if you want.
Well,
I've never actually seen it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't think so.
Well, this is exciting.
Okay, yeah, also maybe lemonparty.net, I don't know, .gov.
Yeah, they might have covered their bases and took care of all the different suffixes.
Who's paying for that? Who's paying to host that? For it's been just 30 years already.
Yeah, the servers must be very expensive at this point. But yeah,
so
this kind of like throws me back to college days. Where
okay, I definitely found it.
Okay. And is it .org?
Oh, but then it redirects to a chat poo-poo or something. Hold on.
Interesting.
It's .org. It is .org.
Yeah, it's .org. Okay, good. Thanks for the fact check on that.
Yeah.
That's
Trey,
actually
back to you.
That's a good new prank. Like, tell your podcast host about a really gross website, but act like you can't remember the dot whatever it is, so they have to look it up on their computer.
It's tubman.com? I don't know.
Check it out for me, can you?
Tubwoman? I don't know. It's hard to say.
Yeah, or just get into a random argument about Evan Fournier, and then who's somebody who doesn't know basketball, and just say, "Hey, could you just Google Evan Fournier for me?
Look him up.
Just look him up." I don't have my phone.
That one is very gross. So yeah, have you changed anyone's homepage back in the day?
Oh, absolutely. This is like a dorm room prank to me. Your friend is at whatever class, so you go into their room while their roommate's there and put something disgusting on their computer. Or if you want to take it another step further, which we did a lot, would be just print out a ton of pictures and cover the inside of somebody's textbook so they think they got it when it's just at the computer. Ha ha ha, I'll send it back to google.com. But then you go to organic chemistry and you're flipping through and it's something different organic in there.
That's great.
I like the mix of analog and digital in that prank. I think that
you can't escape.
That's very. I think of this prank every time I share screen in a meeting. Like in my head, I'm going, all right, did someone get to my computer? Did someone get to my laptop? What's on it? So the lemon party has never strayed far from my mind. All right, JD, give it a spin. So I don't know. Maybe I would say good. Just think of something more creative than lemonparty.org.
There's got to be new websites.
There's got to be new stuff out there.
Uh-oh.
Okay, that was the wheel just pranked us. It said reset the clock, but
yeah, let's roll it back.
How about respin the wheel? You fucking dumb
whoopee
wheel.
Whoopee
cushion.
I mean, honestly, what is there more to say? I mean, except that maybe the fart machine is vastly superior to the whoopee cushion.
Yes.
Like the Leslie Nielsen video where he's being interviewed on a press junket and he puts a fart machine under the interviewer's chair and then he's got just a little remote and then pretends that he ate bad salmon at lunch.
There's so many clips of him on talk shows and stuff. Oh, it's goddamn chef's kiss right there. I think that's the funniest version of the fart practical joke, when you are the one that's farting, not, making it sound like somebody else is farting.
Yeah.
Also hilarious, but it's just funny. Leslie Nielsen is that's an all-time classic prank.
And it's funny because it adds the element of societal politeness where it's like,
right.
Is the person that I'm pranking going to say, like, are you okay? Or are they going to, pretend not to hear it?
Right.
But Trey, because you mentioned whoopee cushions before, have you ever genuinely sat on a whoopee cushion without knowing you were about to sit on one?
I don't know. I mean, probably at some point, but I don't remember ever being embarrassed by sitting on a whoopee cushion. At this point, it's more like you see it's there, so you're rearing up to sit as hard as you possibly can on it.
Rearing up more.
You're rearing up. But like, I'm still pro whoopee cushion.
Yeah.
Fart machine obviously is great too, and I even like can of beans with the snake in it. Like those are like throwbacks to the olden days of pranking, and I like it.
Yeah. I think the older the person, the better the prank with the whoopee cushion. Because if you're sitting down hard, it's just a pop, really. It's just a...
Yep.
It's too fast. But if you get like grandma who's like easing herself into that rocking chair, and then it's a slow... as she's sitting. That's funnier to me.
The slow sit helps. I'm going to try working on that.
Do you think it was out of pure laziness and keeping costs down that they made it bright orange, a very noticeable color? Like, shouldn't it be just brown or like what? I don't know, the color of more chairs. And
right.
I'm just saying, no one has a bright orange chair.
More chairs. You think they should have like camouflaged whoopee cushions to make it more legit? Or I guess like they sometimes will have like a fart cushion, like it's a chair cushion with a whoopee cushion built into it.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah, whatever they're making whoopee cushions out of, not great, because that rubber is so like chalky when you blow into it. You're almost pranking yourself by having to blow into that thing and inhale whatever those particles are. Yeah. They're not fart particles, but it's just like it's so dusty and chalky. Like, I don't know, it's like licking a banana peel or something.
You're right that we've had probably, I should have looked up when it was invented, but I'm going to say at least 80 years of possible innovation and iteration in the whoopee cushion space, and nothing's happened.
Yeah.
Nothing's happened.
Well, I mean, the fart machine, and that's what makes the Leslie Nielsen video so good, is it's like when J.R. Smith showed up on a hoverboard, you're like, whoa, they have those now? But it's Leslie Nielsen with a fart machine.
Yeah.
Whoa, they can do that?
Yeah.
You can just keep going?
We have the technology, so I'm saying whoopee cushion's not good.
I'm saying good. You You have to.
You can say whatever you want to say.
If this is a show about pranks, I mean, that's an all-timer classic prank, and we're talking about the whoopee cushion came out around the same time as the squirting flour,
Squirting flour?
or the X-ray vision glasses, like all that stuff, the teeth chattering. Whoopee cushions blew them all away. The teeth, the little...
All the Jerry Lewis classics.
Yeah, all of those, they're all gone. Or they're, in the back shelf of the novelty store. Whoopee cushions still widely available. It's still hilarious, so...
Okay. Stood the test
a beautiful
of time.
defense.
Totally.
A beautiful defense of tradition. All right, JD, spin the wheel. I guess it's like if you're going to be a prankster, you got to have the whoopee cushion in your arsenal. You got to start there. It's like a magician that never learns how to pull a coin out of his sleeve or something like that.
Right.
The reverse truck. All right, that's next on the wheel here. So this one takes a little bit to pull off, and you don't really have control over it. But let's say you're driving with someone in the car on a road trip, possibly your wife.
Oh, okay.
They fall asleep, and a truck or a car, but it's really funny if it's a truck, is being towed, so the truck that's being towed is facing your car.
Right.
And then you just get close to it, and then you start screaming, and then she wakes up, and to her, it looks like a truck is about to run into you head on.
So it's complicated.
Yeah, this
one's
one
like the aristocrats. I can only do it once.
Exactly. It's a real crime of opportunity, you have to just the situation has to be perfect. Wife asleep, long road trip, truck being towed in reverse. There's a lot.
But when you see it done, it's beautiful.
Oh yeah, God, it's great.
Beautiful.
But
just for that 1 second, your wife thinking that all her hopes and dreams will be gone as she is pancaked under the force of an 18-wheeler.
We're gonna be crushed.
I mean, that's comedy, baby.
Just kidding. Go back to sleep.
Let's go. Just go back to sleep, dear. We're not even in Wisconsin yet. All right.
I can't believe you're fine with this one, but fake snakes, you got a problem with.
Because it harkens back to the days of where anxiety came from. Don't mess with our internals. Right, I thought this was gonna be like when you're with somebody and maybe they run into the store and they come back out. And you're getting ready to leave, and you do the little I'm going forward 2 feet, going forward 2 feet every time you reach for the door. That sucks. I hate that. I've thought about that being done to me before, because I'm like, oh man, that'd be funny to do this to Isla, and she would be so mad.
Oh yeah, that's why it's funny.
Furious, man.
Yeah.
That's a great one. Or just the leave. Like just 2 feet, then they stop walking, so they're like, all right, fine, I get it. And then you leave, and then you circle the block. Kids, and I'm speaking from experience, do not like that. But spin that wheel, JD, and let's see what other hilarious pranks we can get up to today. If you can pull off the reverse truck prank on April Fool's Day, wow, you're killing it. Okay, here we go. Telling your kids you ate all their Halloween candy. Obviously, it's not an April Fool's Day prank, but this one is so in the culture. I think it's Jimmy Kimmel that does it every year. The kids work very hard to go out there and collect all this candy, the only candy they will be able to procure all year because they don't have jobs, they don't make money, and they can't go to the store whenever they want.
Yeah.
And then they go to sleep. You tell them you can't eat it all because of cavities, and they wake up and you say you ate it all. Of course, you're filming it and you upload it to the internet so everyone can laugh at your dumb kids. Trey, would you ever do this to your two beautiful children?
I would never do this, and even more so, I would never put it on the internet. That, to me, I am against, and I think bad, not good, all internet-based pranks, like waking up and it's called IHOB, the International House of Burgers. Not good to me. I like my pranks to be personal only.
Right,
personal prank pizzas, as far as I'm concerned.
Every prank's a personal prank pizza if you work hard
fair enough. But putting your kids' misery out there for some laughs for you, not good for me.
Yeah.
Well, we were just talking on the show, I forget why, about David After Dentist. Or we were talking about early internet memes and viral videos. And that one, it did make me a little sad when I rewatched it. That poor young David really is going through it and is not sure that if his whole life is going to be lived in this confused state.
Yeah.
and his father is just laughing. And now he's got to like look back on it as an adult and think like, not only was the world laughing at me, but the reason that I suffered my first great humiliation was at the hands of my own father, someone who I thought loved me.
Wow. Yeah. I mean, I agree with that one, but I do love seeing videos of people coming down from anesthesia. I love it.
Yeah, David was tripping balls, no doubt about it. And I gotta say, at least it was a different internet time. You know, like, I don't know how that went viral, but that just seems like a random video that happened to go viral rather than parents uploading it saying, hey, this is gonna get 1 billion views. We gotta put it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. You're almost submitting it for a contest. At least in David After Dentist, one could think like, oh, this is a funny video of my kid. I uploaded it to YouTube so the family could see, and then it goes viral. Whereas this one, like, you're trying to, I don't know, win a prize or clout.
I made my kids the saddest.
Yeah, exactly. All right, JD, spin that wheel. We got to try to get to Ghost Pants. We need the wheel to get to Ghost Pants.
Let's see Ghost Pants.
Come on, Ghost Pants.
Come on, Ghost Pants. Just spin it again.
Stationary bike generator.
Stationary bike generator, yeah.
What
who
is
cares? Okay, that's where if you have a stationary bike, you tell your kid that the stationary bike powers the TV, so they're watching a cartoon, and then you're standing behind them, and every time they stop pedaling, you press pause, and then they're like, oh, and then they start pedaling again, and then you unpause it, and they think that, they don't realize they're getting exercise.
Right.
But they're getting exercise while watching Powderpuff Girls. All because you're a devious little man.
You're so devious.
Yeah, I don't hate that one, to be honest.
Okay.
Yeah. Just don't put it next to, Grandpa's life support machine or anything like that. You know what I mean?
That's exactly the problem with me in the start of saying that my mom was in a horrific accident, knock on wood, is like, it could lead to once you find out that the stationary bike doesn't power the TV, like, well, if this isn't true, what else isn't true? And now your whole life spirals out of control.
Right.
Like, oh, does broccoli really have vitamins in it? I don't know anymore. You know what I mean?
Yeah, totally.
Slippery
All right, come on, Ghost Pants.
We gotta see Ghost Pants.
We gotta see Ghost Pants. And it's a real shame we can't talk about it unless the wheel lands on it.
Oh no! Again?
Snakes. Okay.
Plastic snakes. Come on, this thing's pranking us more than we're talking about pranks. Come on, Ghost.
Oh, come on.
This is a conspiracy.
It's picked plastic snakes 4 times. All right, if I'm discussing Ghost Pants,
say it. Jumping out
and scaring someone.
Jumping out what?
and scaring.
Jumping out and scaring someone.
Classic. It's good.
That's funny. That's still funny. Laura literally did it to me this week for no reason. She just saw I was coming back inside. I think she must have been in the garage. And I'm easily scared with those ones. She didn't even do anything. Just stood there. And I noticed, whoa! I think it's great.
Yeah. Same.
Very funny.
You know how they like say, I don't know, prostitution was the first job or something like that? I think that jumping on scaring someone is the first prank.
Probably so.
Like,
Yeah.
Was definitely done in caveman times.
Sure.
Either that or picking up a dead snake and throwing it at somebody. that one's not alive.
You think
In your face, Og.
First person with anxiety.
Using the blood of a ram to paint a rock or something to look like poop. They could have done that.
They could have done that.
Yep.
They had the technology. All right, JD. Come on, Ghost Pants. I think you might be disappointed when you find out what Ghost Pants are.
They can't live up to it.
Oh, come on.
Okay. All right, whoopee cushion again. Fuck you, Wheel. We're just going to talk about Ghost Pants.
Yeah, what is Ghost Pants?
So Ghost Pants is when you bring a pair of pants and a pair of shoes to work, and then you put the pants into a toilet seat, and then they hang down, and then you put the shoes there where the feet would be. So every time someone comes in the bathroom and looks under the stall, they go, oh, damn, someone's in there.
Did you make this
The
up?
whole prank is making it seem like a bathroom is occupied. That's the whole prank.
April Fool's, baby. Everyone shits their pants.
This one's good. This one is a lot of prep work. A little bit gross for you getting your pants back, and very little payoff.
Yeah.
Like you don't even get to see the person walk in and be disappointed unless you're standing there the whole time like, huh? Are they gonna think it's real?
Someone's in there, huh? I've been waiting forever, man. Someone's in there.
This is a ridiculous prank. It makes me kind of like it, actually.
Yeah.
Oh,
I brought a separate pair of pants and shoes just in case.
No, but how about this? Funny. How about you step it up by getting the pants and shoes, like recognizable pants and shoes of someone you work with?
Right. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
okay.
Bob's been in there for a really long time.
It's like we all know JD has the blue Vans.
Yeah.
We're gonna get the blue Vans.
Yeah.
And put them in there.
Yeah.
Now, how do you get them? You invite him over to your house. You spill something on him. You say, "I have pants and shoes."
Or you just order blue Vans.
Just leave your shoes here. I'll take care of them.
Yeah.
Okay, step 1, you put down a whoopee cushion. JD sits on it. In his head, he goes, "Uh-oh, I just shat my pants." You say, "All right, I got a change of clothes for you."
And why don't you change your shoes as well? No reason.
Just in case it dribbled down. All right, Trey, it's time for the Is This Good segment where, unfortunately, everything's bad. It's time to pick your poison. All right, so here's how it works. I'm going to give you some related options. They're all bad. You have to pick your poison, so whichever is the least worst option. And, I don't know if you've noticed online, but there's this whole trend or even whole accounts that are just couples playing pranks on each other.
Sure.
TikTok reels, like everything from you throw a Kraft single on their face while they're not paying attention, to you pretend you're on a phone call with someone you're having an affair with, or you put raw pasta in your teeth and then ask your husband to crack your back, and then when he cracks your back, you bite down on the raw pasta and it makes this huge sound and they think they've seriously injured you. Just funny stuff.
I think I've seen the cheese one, or it was a piece of meat. Babies getting slapped with meat. Have you seen this? Like crying babies, and then they just throw a piece of like Kraft single, and it hits them in the head.
I have seen that.
And they're so shocked that they just stop crying.
Gotcha.
It's fucking weird.
That's weird. So these are like romantic couples you're talking about, and this is their whole,
generally, yeah.
Their whole account.
It's not like
it's
not the Nelk boys, going out and doing stuff.
Well, I was thinking Jake and Amir. They're longtime couple prankers.
That's true. They are. But okay, so today's category and pick your poison is pranks your specific wife would do to you. Okay, so you got to pick one of these.
Cool.
Okay. All right, so I know you want to see Grateful Dead at Sphere in Vegas. All right, so here's the prank. She tells you that she got you tickets to Sphere for your birthday, but then on the day of, instead of heading to the airport, she takes you to a screening of the 1998 film Sphere, starring Sharon Stone, Dustin Hoffman, and Samuel Jackson, adapted from the novel by Michael Crichton. All right, that's prank numero uno. Okay? Prank number 2, she keeps replacing your shoes with slightly larger ones, so you start to think your tiny feet are getting even smaller. And if you don't know, Trey, a very big guy, but we once saw a picture of him from his varsity high school basketball team. And he's got tiny feet. Now, it could be an optical illusion, but we've also seen his feet, and proportionally...
Look, they're not big, okay?
They're not, they're not
big.
Feet, but
they're not the biggest.
They're not ridiculously small.
Well, now he's going to think they're tiny. He's got tiny little baby feet.
Little baby feet.
Okay, or final prank here. So you're fishing with your wife and your kids, and Laura's got a huge one on the line, so she asks you to reel it in, and you fight and swear and sweat. But when you finally bring it above water, you realize she's just attached a 20-pound kettlebell to the line. And everyone's laughing at you, so you pretend you're actually happy about it. And then when she tries to take it back, you start posing with it and pretending it's a real fish. And then Laura says, "Okay, haha, you know that's not a real fish though, right?" And you say, "Yes, it is. It's a kettlefish." And to prove how excited you are, you mount it on the wall of your house, and now every time someone comes over for dinner and asks why there's a kettlebell on your wall, you have to live the lie over and over again.
I like that one.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
So that's why I was saying at the start, it's funny that you would just try to pretend that you were not pranked at all.
You didn't prank me.
The very situation I just put you in.
Yeah, exactly. And then she's got to deal with me having a kettlebell framed for the rest of our lives.
That's right.
That one is the least bad to me. I think worst bad is the pump fake on going to see the Grateful Dead at the Sphere and having to go see Sphere instead. That would be crushing disappointment.
Yeah, now you might have been thrown off by me saying Sphere and not the Sphere, but technically it is just Sphere.
Right.
James Dolan said it's not the Sphere. So I just want you to know that joke was just accurate. It wasn't funny, but it was accurate. Okay, so yeah, that is. You think that's the worst one because you're probably building the anticipation for seeing John Mayer and the boys for months.
Absolutely right. 6 months, 4 months, 5 months specifically. What was the middle one again?
Tiny shoes. Large
bigger
shoes. So now you feel like you have tiny feet. To the point where when you take a step, you do it very gingerly because you're concerned you might fall over.
You're like, what's going on? My shoes are getting bigger.
Yeah, I like that one in the diabolicalness of it because at what point, how many shoe sizes up would you have to go before you had to say something to somebody? Do you know what I mean? Like, I think I'm shrinking, Laura.
What's going on here?
I think my feet are getting smaller. I mean, that's her payoff, right? I mean, that's what she's going for.
Now, theoretically, would she be going to the effort of changing the tags out on them so that it says that it always says it's an 11.5, even if it's for up to 13 or 14?
Yeah,
yes.
she'd have to.
Yeah, she has unlimited prank budgets. She would have to. I agree. I'm glad we're all on the same page here. Clearly, she would pull that off, and that I think would be very, very funny. Because I just washed a jacket of mine, and I'm convinced it's maybe like a 1/4 inch shorter. Wow. I'm looking at old pictures to compare where the sleeve hit on my wrist last year compared to this year. So if my shoe size started changing just like by minuscule amounts, I would probably go insane.
Yeah.
All right, Trey, I'm going to give you an option because, again, you're very brave to come on and at risk. You didn't know what was going to happen today on this crazy show on April Fool's Day. So I'm going to give you a choice. Do you want to hear the most insane, unpopular opinion that's ever been emailed to me? Or do you want to hear a settle this about someone in a relationship problem that tangentially has to do with Chicago?
I'll go with the former.
Most insane,
unpopular opinion, yeah.
Okay, well then I'll say not everyone's going to agree with everything, Trey, but sometimes you have to stand alone on the edge of popular consensus. It's time for unpopular opinions. Okay, so normally I have to get these from the internet because only the internet has people that have insane takes enough for unpopular opinions. But this one was emailed to me.
Wow.
Hi, Matteo. I have an unpopular opinion that I have always believed to be right and only now have begun hearing feedback that I may be way off base. The emphasis on way is mine because I don't think that this person realized just how off base they might be with this.
Okay.
Maybe the ITG team can help me out. All right. I believe that if you are driving and accidentally hit someone's dog or cat, that you should continue driving and not tell the owner. As a new dog owner myself, I have learned that pet owners are all mostly insane. I worry if I stop to tell someone that I accidentally ran over their darling fur baby, even though it was likely their fault for leaving it off leash, that the owners would kill me. My wife and I just had our first son, and we were jokingly talking about teaching him how to drive in 16 years, and then this subject came up, and she was aghast that I've held this belief and might pass it along to my son when he gets his permit. However, I'm convinced I'm right, and he shouldn't confront any pet owners if he accidentally runs over their animals. Wow. What do you think?
Wow.
Well, on one hand, I see the points that this person is making.
Right.
Confronting the owner after that, it's going to be a bad situation.
Extremely uncomfortable.
They're going to be upset. Depending on where you live, I suppose it could get violent. But also, you got to tell the person because people love their animals a lot. So you absolutely have to tell them. I can see why this would fall under the category of most insane, unpopular opinion because you absolutely got to come clean, unfortunately, for this guy.
I mean, the chances of you knowing who owns the animal are pretty slim, right? I mean, I guess it's if in your neighborhood.
I don't know. I guess the only way you'd really know is tags. Right?
Yeah.
Like, oh, I see the address. I'll go and tell this person.
Right.
You got to.
Right. Yeah, you have to.
Or if you picked
something.
it up and held its lifeless body in your hands and then went door to door. But I would just say, I would say to Lloyd, who wrote this. Of course, I want to give him credit. Lloyd, replace dog or cat with person. And I think you'll see how insane this is, because you're sort of advocating
hit and run,
hit and runs. And I understand a dog or a cat. I mean, some people would say they're people. I don't believe that, but I also don't believe that. I mean, even replace dog or cat with other car, like a parked car. Mm-hmm. I mean, if you hit a parked car and you knock their side view mirror off, you have to stop and you have to put a note on it and say, "Here's my number. We'll get this taken care of."
Right.
So, yeah, I just think that everyone's always going to be upset when you destroy their property or their animals or a person. Why wouldn't they be upset?
Yeah.
That's not the reason not to stop.
I will say, like, hitting an animal, I mean, I never want to do it, but the rules of the road are, they will tell you, don't swerve for a dog. Don't, like, slam on the brakes for a dog, because you could harm people, right? Like, you could...
Yeah, but you're always looking in your rear view, right? You got an eye in the rear view. If nothing's behind you, come on.
No, I know. I'm just saying, like, he may be conflating this sort of idea, like, if a squirrel runs in front of you, don't try to swerve, because you could end up in a telephone pole. You know what I mean?
Right, and then it's going to take you a long time to figure out who owned that squirrel.
That's right.
Yeah, track them down.
So this one, this was an insane, unpopular opinion, and genuinely unpopular, I will say. Now, is it easier to not stop? Yes.
Yeah, of course.
Much easier.
Of course.
But I agree with your wife here, and I don't think you should tell your child that they should, if they ever should hit an animal, that they can just keep moving forward.
I think you make a good point, Matt, that I would say the general rule is that if you hit anything with a car, you're talking to somebody about what you hit with the car, whether it be another car, a person, an animal, like a mailbox. If you ran over somebody's mailbox, you'd be like, "Oh, I knocked it over, man. Sorry, I'll pay a $400."
Right.
But not and certainly even Lloyd would agree. You're talking to somebody in a car accident, like involving people. So he's just trying to find a way out here because he's sad about a dog. Of course, you're going to be crushed and you're going to feel terrible, but you got to come clean.
Yeah.
Well, I wonder, does Lloyd extend this to literally everything, though? Like, when you think about it, why does a car have to be involved? Like, if he's, I don't know, at a store and he knocks over a series of priceless vases, like, is he just going to be like, "Oh,
I'm out of here.
I'm out. Bye." I mean, I guess in that sense, yeah. If it's a big enough vase corporation, then I think they have the insurance for it. But if it's a mom and pop vase operation, then definitely tell them that it was you.
Yeah.
All right, Trey, there's only one thing left to do, and that's play subjective trivia. Subjective trivia, it's just like regular trivia, except only I know the answer. Inspiration for today's question, well, in 2003, Ashton Kutcher introduced us to the word punked, a cool new way to say, "You got tricked." But it made me think that there were already a lot of great words for being tricked, for being suckered. So today's question is, what's the best old-timey way to say you were tricked? Okay. Bamboozled, hoodwinked, snookered, or hornswoggled? So the best way to say you were tricked, your options are bamboozled, hoodwinked, snookered, or hornswoggled. I have my answer written here. Have at it.
Okay, so it comes down to two choices for me: bamboozled and hoodwinked.
Yeah.
They both very clearly scream, you've been pranked or tricked in some way. And before you even went into the four choices, I was thinking instantly, it's got to be bamboozled. So I'm sticking with my gut here. I think bamboozle. It sounds like a joke. Like, it just sounds like something funny has happened to you and you didn't know what was going on. So I'm on bamboozled here. I don't know how you're feeling, JD.
Yeah, I think bamboozled is the right answer. It's the funniest of them all. What was it? Hoodwinked and
Snookered,
snookered,
swoggled.
hornswoggled. Too much of a too much of a mouthful. I don't know. It's like you're swallowing the word when you say it. I don't like that. But yeah, I think just for sheer comedy, bamboozled. It's easy to say. It's fun to say. It's like, I got bamboozled. Joke's on me.
Okay. Well, Trey, you were 100% right that it did come down to two. Oof. And those two were the ones you identified. Bamboozled and hoodwinked. But unfortunately, the answer is... bamboozled!
Yes! Yes!
I said unfortunately to bamboozle you.
Man, that was a classic prank. Classic misdirection from you.
A classic bamboozling. JD, I agree with you 100%. The word bamboozle evokes being confused. It sounds like what being confused feels like.
Right.
And you're often confused when you get tricked.
Exactly.
So that's the correct answer. Were you a big punked guy, Trey?
I was a punked fan. I would say, I would in general like that MTV slate of programming was right up my alley with it was like punked. I think Wilmer Valderrama's show was called Yo Mama, where they're just like making jokes at each other.
Never heard of this.
Wait, what?
Room Raiders.
What was the premise?
Pimp My Ride. Yo Mama was like it was like an insult comedy off, like head to head, where improv comedying jokes to each other.
Damn, do we not get this?
No, we didn't. See, this is first of all, Trey, I remember on a No Dunk show, you were saying that all our Canadian game shows were insane and very stupid sounding, but this might take the cake.
I mean, Yo Mama was ridiculous. I think that guy, Mikey Day?
Yeah.
I think he was on it.
From
like, Cat
SNL?
Williams is on it. Like, they've had some, like, legitimately big names who would guest star on this thing, and they would bring in, like, bring in rappers, and they would have, like, a freestyle insults comic kind of thing going off, and then at the end, Wilmer Valderrama would give you however much cash money at the end. But, yeah, they made a bunch of these shows at the same time, and I liked all of them. Punked included. I still remember Justin Timberlake getting punked and like almost being in tears. This guy was, I forget what the prank was, but he did not take it well.
Oh, so punked is all celebrities. I've never actually seen it.
Punked, it would be like, I don't know if it was all celebrities, but it was often like we got whoever, Dax Shepard. I think Dax Shepard was on Punked, right? Like he was one of the guys, and we got him involved in this punk.
Oh, he was, yeah. BJ Novak too.
Wow.
Was Bofa on that?
Who's Bofa?
Bofa D's nuts? You just got punked. You just got punked.
Walked right into that one.
All right, Trey, again, thanks for being brave. Where can people find you?
I'm starting a new podcast with my friend Mike.
Uh-huh.
Mike Hawk.
Mike Hawk?
Yeah, he's going to be guest starring. Yeah, he's going to host. Drops next Monday, April 8th.
Now, is he friends with your other friend Mike Hunt?
They know each other.
Okay.
And you know their friend, Mr. Mehoff, right?
Jack?
Oh, Jack.
Yeah, Jack.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
I mean James, but we call him Jack because we're friends.
Yeah, it's a solid friend group.
Yeah. Good guys. Just always joking, bamboozling each other.
Okay, well, look out for that podcast. In the meantime, go to nodunks.com until that's up and running. And anything else, Trey?
I got nothing else, but I've just been thinking about that word bamboozled. It's like they came up with a perfect word for pranks, and then they've kept innovating. We haven't gone any further. Yeah. Bamboozled was perfect.
Yeah, it's perfect.
You're right.
Chef's kiss. It was probably invented at the time of the whoopee cushion, but unlike the whoopee cushion, you can improve on bamboozled. So
exactly right.
This episode goes out to all the whoopee cushion makers out there. And we just want to see you try a little bit. That's all we're saying. Remember to check us out, patreon.com/isthisgood. Subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts. If you have topics, email us at isthisgoodpod@gmail.com. Thanks for listening. Thanks to Trey for coming on. Thanks in advance for leaving a 5-star review. For everyone, I'm Matt Austin, and this was good. Don't fall for any pranks. See you next week. Ghost Pants.
Ghost Pants, man. Ghost Pants the prank.